Само си ти кренува.
Hello, wonderful people of the great World Wide Web. Follow me on my way to Nordkapp, traveling on a budget, with no real plan, just a general direction. Not taking the shortest route either, but exploring along the way. In the last episode, I explored Latvia. In this one, I keep heading north, into Estonia. Let's find out what's next. We are picking up exactly where we left off in the last episode, at the Latvia-Estonia border, saying goodbye to Latvia and continuing into Estonia. The aftermath of the last night's storm was everywhere. Broken branches and fallen trees all around. That's also why I skipped that route into Estonia. Apparently, it's not the best idea after heavy rain. And right at the start, I ran into a small issue. My Estonian SIM card I bought at a gas station didn't activate. Everyone there noticed I was struggling and tried to help, which was really cool, but no luck. In the end, they dropped a pin on my Google Maps, so I headed toward Tartu to find the telecom store. No big deal, I'm traveling without a plan anyway. At least now I have a clear direction. And of course, I kept to unpaved roads as much as possible. Then I started spotting World Rally Championship Rally Estonia markings along the road. And I thought, wait, am I actually riding WRC trails? Turns out I was. And as a big WRC fan, that felt pretty amazing. Those signs mark radio points used by marshals equipped with radios to communicate with the stage commander. Yellow marks a warning point, while blue marks the actual radio point. I was really enjoying the gravel roads, the sunny weather and the beautiful Estonian landscape. But, like everything else, it couldn't last forever. I made it to Tartu. Sorted out the SIM card issue and headed east toward Lake Peipus, where I found a nice campsite in the charming lakeside town of Kolkja. The night was pretty intense, with distant thunderstorms rolling around me and keeping me alert. Luckily, the storms missed my campsite, but the radar showed rain coming straight toward my location, so I woke up really early to pack the tent before the rain arrived. With heavy rain forecast for the entire day, the real question became what direction to take next. Riding the flat trails in these conditions didn't seem like the best idea, and that's when I made my choice. I would just search for more World Rally Championship pistes and enjoy riding these instead. Those well-maintained gravel roads were still perfectly rideable despite the rain. So I ended up spending most of the day looking for WRC pistes and just enjoying the ride. As the day went on, I started getting tired and hungry, so I decided to head toward Tartu and find something to eat, preferably something local. In the end, I stopped at a roadside rest area where some locals were selling real street food. I tried Estonian pastries called pirukas with minced meat and another one with fish, although unfortunately I forgot its name. While eating, I came up with one final mission before ending the day and looking for a place to sleep. Finding a proper espresso. Mission successful. I found a coffee shop serving proper espresso. And not even the rain could stop me from enjoying it together with a badly rolled cigarette. Wet conditions made rolling tobacco a bit challenging. After enjoying my coffee and cigarette, I headed back toward the small town of Nina on Lake Peipus, where I found a small lakeside cabin for the night, with my old follower, the rain, keeping me company along the way. The next morning, I woke up to this, so I just turned around and went straight back to bed, and decided to take a rest day, using the few rain-free hours to explore the village and walk by the lake. New day and of course more heavy rain. Luckily, the forecast showed it would clear up later in the morning, so I packed my gear and started heading east again. My goal was Narva, the easternmost town in Estonia, where I could catch a glimpse across the border into Russia. Riding back west, I passed through Sillamäe and later stopped in Rakvere for a really good espresso at a small place called Art Cafe, recommended, believe it or not, by ChatGTP. ChatGTP's coordinates for abandoned military bunkers were questionable at best, but the art cafe recommendation definitely redeemed it. As the day passed, I continued west in search of a wild camping spot. But with rain approaching once again and the ground already soaked and muddy, I decided to skip the tent for the night and stay in a small cabin instead. New day, new situation. This time the chain started making noise. First the cash rubbers, now the chain. I ended up calling the service center in Tallinn to see if they could take my bike in for a chain and sprocket replacement. They agreed and replaced both. And that was the second time on this trip that a technical issue stopped me from heading west and reaching the Baltic coastline. Good thing I took the bike to the service center in Croatia a few weeks before the trip and asked them to prepare it for a 12,000 kilometer journey. But that's probably a story for another video, maybe. I'm still not fully clear with myself about it. I spent the rest of the day in Tallinn, booked a ferry to Finland, bought some tobacco with a symbolic name and enjoyed Estonian cherries. The cherry season in Croatia had already passed, so I really enjoyed those insanely tasty ones. I stayed in a hostel close to the ferry port, but I just couldn't fall asleep. The ferry was leaving very early, and knowing myself and my ability to sleep through alarms, I was probably too nervous to actually drift off. In the end, I made it to the ferry right on time. And with me saying goodbye to Estonia and the Baltics, this chapter comes to an end. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode, where the journey continues into Finland. Ride safe and keep exploring!